Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, working outside in the backyard. I have algae and mildew and mold to clean off the shady, doesn't see a lot of sun areas of my shed back here. Also on my north facing side of my house, I have the same thing. I normally pressure wash this stuff, but I picked up some cleaner to see if it's any better or easier or worth the money, so I'll show you what I got. So again, I'm trying to see which one's more efficient or cost effective, and help you make a decision on what's going to work best for you. Most of my stuff I can reach, but I'm thinking maybe the cleaner is helpful if you have high up areas you can't reach. So my last house was single story. My whole north facing side of my house over here has a lot of mildew and algae on it, and it's pretty tall. And I do have ladders, but I figure we'll give it a shot. So I'm going to try the garden hose with the jet nozzle first, then my pressure washer. To give you, this is a Greenworks from Lowe's. I got it for free as a gift like 6 or 7 years ago, but you can still find these little tote style electric pressure washers for under $100, sometimes cheaper on sale. And then the 30-second cleaner is what I got. There's a few different brands. I saw Mold Armor and like a green tub. This had good reviews. I've never used a product like this before. So but this was $20 for this 64-ounce bottle, so kind of expensive. But so the first thing I'm going to do is just regular garden hose with a nozzle on the highest jet setting. We'll see what that does to this algae and mildew. So got it on the jet setting. That's the strongest setting I have on my nozzle, and we'll give it a little shot, see what it does. So I have to get pretty close, from like 2 or 3 feet away. It does work. So it does work. It gets a lot of the loose stuff off, but it actually leaves a lot behind. And this is pretty fresh. So I cleaned this once when I first moved in about 3 years ago. So a lot of this is from this past winter. It usually takes 2 or 3 years for this stuff to come back when you clean it, but hose and this work. It's just going to be more intensive, and if you kind of want to do a really good job, like I got as close as possible. Some of this is just not going to come up. It's clinging to the pores of the vinyl siding better. So it does work. Just probably not the best thing. Now I have my little electric 1600 psi pressure washer hooked up, and I'm actually going to go, I'll show you how it cleans, and then I'll go over what the garden hose missed and see how that does. So as you saw, it's much faster to cover a wide area if you're just going for like 80%. So just standing, I'm about 3 feet away. It's pretty fast. You can cover a lot of square footage. But what it'll also do, if you slow down a little bit and get closer, where I went over what the garden hose left behind, it cleaned all that. So I made a quick 5-second pass closer in that area, and you can see what's left behind here still. Whereas that one, I took my time and went a little closer, and it cleaned better. So yeah, that's really the difference between the garden hose and the pressure washer. Pressure washers, or electric pressure washers, are so affordable now. Every homeowner should really have one. It's great for cleaning cars, brick, sidewalks, driveways, all kinds of stuff. Highly recommend getting one. Very useful tool, well worth the money. After using it for a couple times, it's going to pay for itself. So on the back of my shed here, I thought it'd be cool to do a comparison. So I've never used the 30-second cleaner before, so I use my pressure washer just to clean a line down the middle to separate 2 even sections here. I'm going to attempt to use the 30-second cleaner here and then pressure wash that side and see how long it takes me and see the results it gives me, and see if what's comparable. Vice having to pay for cleaner every time you do it. I'm not sure it's quite worth it just for stuff like this, but we'll see. And then when we get to the end, I'll sum it up and tell you what I think about everything. All right, so I time-lapsed the cleaning. It was about 45 seconds for the initial cleaning you saw me do, and then I went back and went closer and a little slower in some of the areas with more mold or mildew that's tougher to get off. So from back here it looks great, but if you get up close, the mildew or mold, which is the black circular stuff, the pressure washer actually didn't take most of that off. It took off some of it when I got close and slower, but a lot of it's still there. So I don't know if the 30-second cleaner or any of these like cleaners designed for this will also help get that mold off, because that's probably one of the things that, you know, a 15, you know, less than 2000 psi pressure washer is going to have a hard time with. Now, you don't want a lot of crazy pressure on vinyl and stuff like this. You don't want to damage it, but yeah, it would take a lot longer and holding it really close to try to get some of this mold and mildew off. Now the algae comes off easy. So let's get the 30-second cleaner hooked up and give that a shot. Also time that. So I read the directions. You essentially just hook your hose to it. It's got a clean, off, and rinse position. You put it in clean for the water to spray out the cleaner. You let it sit for 30 seconds, as the name implied. Now I will say some of them I looked at tell you to wait 5-10 minutes before you rinse it. Now this also says don't get on skin, don't breathe in fumes, don't get on clothes. So I think I'm going to want to stand back. Like, I guess that's one pro of using just water. You don't got to worry about it splashing on you. I'm going to try not to get any of this stuff on me. If I do, I'm going to rinse myself off. So yeah, let's get this hooked up and clean the other side back there and see how it does. So this stuff just smells like bleach. Let me get out of the corner back here. I just smell heavily bleach. Now I don't know if I applied too much. I went slowly down, back up, and down again. Obviously it wasn't immediately removing anything. It's probably been on there, you know, and it took me 30-45 seconds to spray it on, just like it did to pressure wash the other side. So application, you know, pressure washer cleaning and applying this cleaner was about the same time for me. Again, I might have gone overboard. It might have been faster. Maybe I didn't need as much cleaner. But you can see a soapy residue dripping off the wall. So that's the other thing that may be of concern for this cleaner. If you have plants or anything around you don't want to get it on, it says you need to saturate it with water first before you use this cleaner, and then rinse it off when you're done, you know, to prevent it from killing plants and stuff. But yeah, it's actually starting to go away. Let me turn. I mean, most of the green algae is gone. I can still see brown staining and some dirt. Give you a little close up. Again, I can smell heavy bleach fumes. That's what it smells like to me. I didn't look at what the ingredients were. I'm sure it's bleach or sodium hypochlorite. I know that's used for like pressure washing and cleaning like brick and stuff. It's something like that. I'll check it out in a little bit and let you know. But there's heavy bleach fumes. I mean, I'm outside. It's not a big deal. But I'm going to wait a little longer. It's been 30 seconds. I'm not going to rinse it yet. I'll probably wait a couple more minutes and then go over there and rinse it. Alright, I went inside, grabbed a drink. It is hot out here. So it's probably been a minute or so. Okay, just a faint bleach smell still. So I'm going to set you back up, go to the rinse setting, and you can still see a discoloration. So I'm going to go to the rinse setting and rinse it and see what happens. Alright, took me a minute or so to rinse it, and it does look really clean. I'll give you a close-up in a minute. But there's not a lot of pressure in the rinse setting. It's kind of like jet on a garden hose, but not a lot of pressure. And as I keep going over it, I'm still seeing suds from the chemicals. So I haven't gotten it all off yet. And it says you don't want this cleaner to dry on your wall. And this is taking too long for me. So I'm going to hook up my normal garden hose and rinse it with that. Alright, it's fully rinsed now. I do, you know, in the water runoff I still have some soapy chemical residue. Not too worried about that. It works extremely well. Rinsing it took all that, you know, remaining discoloration off. It's like 99% spotless. Now, I don't know how long that lasts. And for $20 a bottle, still don't know if it's a good value. I think I'll have to try using it says it'll shoot 24 feet. I don't know. I'll have to try that on the side of my house over there here in a minute, just to test that for you. But it's extremely clean. It looks brand new. It's actually pretty impressive. And I think so they say when you use a product like this, it also takes longer for it to come back, because I think it does a better job at killing all the, you know, little pores and fungus and mold and whatever that stuff is, which is probably why it takes longer to come back. Whereas like this side that I just pressure washed still has some mold and mildew residue I couldn't get off. No, I could hit this with the cleaner and I'm sure wait 30 seconds and rinse and it would be gone, because it's 100% gone on that side. So, but I do have some mold, mildew, black stuff on the pressure wash side, and it's mostly right there. It's just hit or miss. Yeah, it worked way better than I thought. Again, you just have to, I'm not a big fan of using chemicals like this outside, so I'm going to spray the rest of this, rinse this ground down until all the soap is like gone. I don't know, maybe it's something useful. But let's route these hoses out to the side of my house and we'll test how far it can shoot and see how it does on the side of my house over here. Interesting, on my camera it's showing up this weird drip pattern of cleanness at the diagonal. I have no idea what causes that, but it's consistent. It's weird. Let me know if you know what that is. But huge face, north facing, I have mold and mildew here. It's actually more mold and mildew than it is green algae, so it's more brown. So yeah, we'll see how this does. Let's get everything set up over here. So the directions do say to get the max range 24 feet, you have to remove this yellow fan nozzle, or red fan nozzle. So that's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna remove that. It says it can reach 24 feet. Let's test that. Alright, it's all gone. I didn't even get that side of the house and it's empty. So 64 ounces only lasted 2 or 3 minutes of spray time, tops, maybe 4 minutes, and it's all gone. So I noticed it was pushing off the cleaner before I was ready to rinse it. So also when you're spraying up top, it did reach pretty far. I don't think that's 24 feet. I think that's 8. I think, you know, I'm 6'5". To my soffit's probably 18 feet, tops 20 feet maybe. So it barely reached my soffit. So I'll say it was 20 feet on a good day. But I had to get right under it and shoot it up. So I was getting some stuff splashing on me. So I just rinsed myself off really good with the hose. So I'm soaking wet. But now it's been on there for about a minute. All I did was disconnect this, put the normal garden hose back on. And I'm gonna go ahead and rinse that. I sprayed a little bit on my gutter here, but I got most of the cleaner up there, and then as I got down to the bottom of this wall, you can see I started running out, looks like. But let's go ahead and rinse it off, see what happens. So just got done rinsing, and definitely 100%. I ran out. It did clean up there. I didn't get good coverage. I probably could have stood a few rungs up on a small A-frame ladder, and I should have been able to reach the top pretty easily. I just ran out of product. I didn't even make it all the way down. So you can see where some of the cleaner ran down, but rinsing it with the hose didn't do much. And this isn't really algae as much, like on my shed in the shade. There's not a lot of shade here, there's just no direct sun, so this is more mildew, mold. so it's a lot harder to clean this off. Now the pressure washer would take this off, it just takes a little more time. So yeah, let me think about the product for a few minutes and then we'll be back to close this out. Alright, I'm in the shade. It's hot out here. I'm rinsed off good. My final thoughts. Kind of torn, but I have come up with a decision. I think I'll use one more bottle, buy another 64-ounce bottle. Now they do sell larger barrels that you can refill those little nozzles with. Maybe you save a little bit of money buying a bigger jug without the nozzle part, because I think you save a little money not buying the nozzle part. So I could go buy a refill jug and save a little money. So, but I'll leave links to that stuff in the description. Overall, I don't think it's for me. I might be forced to use it on this tall stretch of my house. I could always get one of my tall extension ladders and go up there with my pressure washer. Plus I have an extension to make my pressure washer longer. But it does work. It works very well. It did not last very long. So that $20 bottle with 64 ounces lasted 3 or 4 minutes of cleaning, spraying. Now I might have wasted some back here on my first application. I'm not sure if that one bottle would have got my whole side of my house over there. I feel like it would have, but I think I would have been spread thin. I would have had spots that I missed, because I was really thorough on the back of the shed, going up and down multiple, like 3 times I think is what I did. That one I barely got through the first go and I was out of cleaner. So that's kind of pricey for that. Now granted, you should only have to do this every couple years. Again, I did this, I cleaned everything when I first moved in 3 years ago, so it's been 3 years and I'm doing it again. But it's interesting on the back, the part I used the cleaner on, the part I didn't. I'll keep an eye on that in the future, so I'll check back in like 6 months and a year and probably do an update to see if where I use the cleaner is preventing stuff from going back over just the water with the pressure washer. But I think for the side of the house over there, I'll get everything I can reach standing with the pressure washer, and then maybe get on the ladder and get what I can simply reach on the little step A-frame ladder. Again, I'm not a fan of heights at my age, so I'm not trying to climb up and down extension ladders with a pressure washer. So for that fact, I think I will buy like a gallon refill jug just to finish that big side of my house. There's a little nook that faces the same direction by my garage, but I can easily reach that. It's A-frame and it's lower, it's like 10-12 foot high. I can get that with my pressure washer, no problem. So I think it's a mixture of both of what's going to work best for you. Pros of the pressure washer: you can get an electric one pretty cheap. You can use it for almost anything, cleaning decks, brick, whatever. So it pays for itself, multi-use. Don't worry about any chemicals, anything getting on you, the fumes, nothing like that. Whereas those are some of the cons, I think, for that cleaner. I always had to be more careful about it splashing on me and then rinsing myself off real good, which me personally I'm not a fan of. But I think because of this tall section of the house and the fact that I don't want to climb a ladder that tall to get good coverage, I think I'll buy one more bottle. The range was pretty good, maybe 18 to 20 feet. I don't think it's reaching 24 feet, at least not straight up. Maybe if you arced it at 45 degrees, it would hit 24 feet away. I don't know where they got that measurement from, because most people are going to be using that stuff on a vertical wall. I guess if you were cleaning a deck or a roof, you could get that distance, horizontally. So yeah, that's enough of me rambling. Again, I'll leave links to it. Those are different methods of how to clean this stuff. And really up to you what you think is best. So there's definitely multiple ways to do it. All right, that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. All right.